Right, we just dipped for Liv.
It was very cold.
It was very cold.
7.7. Felt like 3.
Yeah, I mean, I look like I don't know what I look like, but
you look like cold swimmers. I don't. I'm not even.
Put as many layers on as I possibly can. Okay.
Are we rolling?
We are. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. So that's your coffee, is it? Oh,
that's mine. It's empty. Yeah. I thought I'd just put it there for like aesthetic.
Yeah. Aesthetic purposes. All right. So this is Podding Along episode 3, and today I'm very excited. This is one that I think this is the first time we've all been together, which is kind of crazy given that we like speak to each other like all the time.
Literally.
But I'm here today with Lowri from Girly Dips and Liv from Chili Dippers. And yeah, I guess let's start. Maybe we just introduce what you both do. So Lowri, how about you start with you and Girly Dips?
So I'm Lowri, and I am I hate saying it because it sounds a bit icky, but I am the founder of Girly Dips. So we are an all women's swim community. So I work for all women. And yeah, we started in May 2024, and we now have a community of about, I think all in all, there's probably about, in the WhatsApp community, which is where the core of what we do is communicated, there's probably about 550 women now, which is amazing, of all different ages, all different abilities, and yeah, we meet once a month, mostly at Brockwell, but also other areas, and we swim and we brunch, and yeah, it's really, really special. So in a nutshell, that is Girly Dips.
Yeah. And Chili Dippers?
Chili Dippers, yeah. I run Chili Dippers, which is kind of exactly the same, but open to men as well. We also meet once a month at Parliament Hill. I started Chili Dippers when I was at uni, so I was at uni up in Scotland. Very easy to go to the beach and swim and host these big swims for students. In the sort of depth of the winter, it was very cold, but loads of people enjoyed it, so I kind of got some traction and kept it going, and then moved down to London and was I'm just going to keep this plodding along. So
there it is.
There we go.
Yeah, there it is.
Sneaky plug.
So yeah, we meet once a month at Parliament Hill. We have some either yoga, we've done salsa, we do Zumba, get everyone hot and sweaty, strip off, do a dip. I always say with the Chili Dippers, not the swimmers.
Nice.
So stay in for as little or as long as you like, and then enjoy some sort of coffees and snacks and drinks and stuff. And it's just a really nice way to meet people. I always say, it's time where you're not on your phone, which is ironic because I'm often capturing content on my phone, but it's time where you're not replying to messages on your phone.
Yeah.
You're somewhat submerged in the nature that London has to offer, and around just like-minded people who want to do something different with their Saturday and meet other people. So yeah, it's been great.
I love what you both do. Obviously, I've been to loads of your events.
I need to get to an event. I really do.
Well, we're hosting one next week. 7th of February. Be there. Carolina. Cool out.
But I was saying to Lowri just before, is I come to your events because that's me going to a swim club that I'm when you're not running it yourself. It's but I really enjoy it for that because it's just
it's always great when we have you.
It's good proof of concept. It's I actually enjoy doing this.
This
I'm not
works.
just doing it. I actually really enjoy doing it.
It's always great to have you.
But it's been quite crazy because we've all sort of met each other or got to know each other in last 6 months or so.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are swim clubs that are more competitive swim clubs or lane swimming. But I guess what we all do is more of a kind of social swimming, I guess, where it's the swimming is very much just a vehicle for us to meet new people and that kind of thing. And it feels particularly in London, that's becoming quite recently is becoming quite a big thing. And so yeah, I'd be interested just to hear what you guys think and what's driving that. What do you think is driving the sort of popularity of it?
The big thing for Girly Dips is that it is women, right? So it's kind of that sisterhood element, it's where women can come and have a real kind of safe space, but also just it changes the dynamic slightly when it is just women, because it's, I don't know, that's just how things are, right? So I think for Girly Dips especially, it's more about community and connection, and then the cold water is kind of secondary to that. But then I guess for yourself, obviously bringing it over from university and into London, that connection and the community is really prevalent, because it's that's what people crave.
Totally. I would say at uni you had such a sense of community because you all lived in this tiny area, and now it's everyone's spread across everywhere. So finding one place where you can swim each month, knowing that we're always there with the same people, it definitely brings together that community. And I do think in a bad way that's what makes people coming. That lack of community you get in London is why people crave
Yeah.
water swimming clubs.
For sure.
And that kind of relaxed social element, because it's accessible. Like, you know, I probably wouldn't sign up for a lane swimming club because I'd be like, oh my god, is my standard good enough? Like, it's quite competitive. Whereas this is like, all abilities welcome. It's really cheap. You literally pay Parliament Hill like £4, and you see the same faces, and it's that like sense of community once a month, which is nice.
We're almost giving people a platform to dive off. Swim plug.
Are we going to do like swim club bingo?
We actually should. We so should have done that.
The swim club drinking game.
Yeah, but I think we're giving people that platform to come to our dips and like meet people. And I think one of the biggest things for me, and I say this a lot on our Girly Dip socials, is that the biggest thing is like seeing people make friends. So we're allowing people to like come to this community. Well, not allowing them, but they're coming themselves to this community, and then they are literally making like lifelong friends. Like I think I said it in on social media before Christmas. I was walking in Balham one day and I saw this group of girls having brunch, and I was like, oh my god, like they all met at Girly Dips and they're now out on a Saturday having brunch. Like. And it's really
like, where's
nice.
my invite?
Yeah, I was like, thanks, girls. But no, it's really nice because literally, I was just like, oh, this is awkward. But it's really nice seeing people make friends and like actually, to your point, because London isn't the best place to like always have that community feel. It's nice to know that like we're able to offer that through our communities, and I think that's really special.
It's the irony of a big city like London, which is that there are so many, it's almost like too many opportunities to like, there's so many new people, places you can go, things you can do, that it kind of ends up feeling, or can feel like quite lonely. And so I certainly see what I do in the same vein, which is like, for me it's just all about creating opportunities for people to make new friends. I'm constantly surprised by just how like on point people who come to my swims, or when I've come to your swims, like how just on point everyone is. Like everyone's so nice and friendly and sort of like really like-minded. It's kind of felt to me that this type of activity seems to be bringing a certain type of person together.
Definitely, it's not for the faint-hearted. But I also think, because particularly when it's cold, you're like, holy crap, like I have to get half naked in front of strangers. I have to bear the cold, I have to focus on breathing. It kind of brings you back to the moment. So all of the kind of like
worries
and secondary anxieties you'd have about socialising, if it was like going to the pub or going on a night out, or even going like, I don't know, doing something wholesome but with alcohol involved, let's say, it kind of stops you from being fully present. Whereas this is like, there's no other option. Like, you have to face the cold water, you have to get half naked, and everyone's just like, let's go. And I also find that people always get scared about how they look. You know, people are like, oh, I'd love to come to your swim live, but I'm a little bit anxious about how I look and blah, blah, blah. And we've actually got a body coach coming to sort of like share some positivity.
Oh, is this for your swim that you're doing? Oh, I love that.
Because we're kind of like, you know, you want to feel sexy as heck in your swimming costume. But I always say to people, when you're stripping off, you're only thinking about yourself and how cold it is. You're like, holy shit, I'm in the water and it is freezing, I need to focus on my breathing and all of that. So all of those sort of extra anxieties around like social pressures completely go away. Which is why I think the community element is so strong. Like everyone's feeling the same thing at the same time.
The dipping community is like, there's no ego. There's so much less pressure, and like whether people want to admit it or not, like myself included, when you were in those kind of like tri clubs or swim clubs and you're like full on hardcore front crawling or freestyling, there's always an element of like, I want to be the fastest, I want to be the this. Like even if like subconsciously you're doing it, there is always that element. And like when it comes to dipping, I think that there's no ego, and so we're all just here, to your point, like in the cold together, doing it together, like doing something that feels good together. So it's like, I always say there's no ego in cold swimming. So like when obviously we all meet at Brockwell or wherever we swim, I'll just be like, stay in for as long as you want. If you just want to dip a toe, like if you just want to sit on the side of the pool, like that's cool. Whereas obviously like the other clubs, you do feel more of like a pressure to like have to get in and swim. So I think that that's also like a little bit of a difference, because you know we have some people come to our swims that are there just to recover from their swim, like because they've like been on a really long swim the day before and they're like, I actually just want to come to recover, and that's really nice, because you're then offering like that space for them to be able to do just that, because obviously if they went to their swim club and did that, they'd be like, guys,
what are you doing?
So yeah, I think also, like, to your point, like around connection and like why people are into it, I think it's because there's less pressure, and also not to throw any shade on the run clubs, but there is so much for run clubs in London especially, but not
now.
so much for swimmers. So I think that's also why our communities are very special in what we do.
I also want to say, I think we're all very aligned that we're like super accessible, we want everyone to enjoy themselves, no egos, whatever, and the community will follow who's sort of created it.
Yeah.
So if we were all like, you know, really egoistic, like you've got to run really fast, swim really
You're
fast.
Stay for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, you know, it probably wouldn't be this very accessible place. Like the fact that it keeps on growing is hopefully because people are like, oh my god, you know, you guys have created such a warm, loving space where we can come once a month and know that we can turn up hungover or super excited, and either works. Which I think is great. Like, I've been to a lot of other run clubs or other events where some people who are sort of in charge, I don't know,
there's
like
maybe
very
a bit
competitive, very like macho, like come on, like go, and it's like, oh my god, this is not what I need on a Saturday morning.
Sure.
So kudos to us.
It just feels interesting that, like, it's all, I don't know, it's all kind of coming together at the same time, roughly. Like, we've kind of, I mean, obviously, like, you've been doing yours for a really long time, but in terms of, like, in London, it just seems to all be coalescing at roughly the same time.
I'm going to Google the quote that I sent to Lowri the other day, because I can't remember it, but it's a brilliant quote by JFK.
But I think also, and you just mentioned this obviously around like us all like being, you know, like the hosts and like the pushers of these communities. Like, anybody can start a community, but I think you've got to have like the time and the passion to want to put into it. But we were saying this the other week, like, I am yet to kind of see like a group of community leaders all come together and like share things. Like, I'll say to you, like, do you want my Canva login? Yeah. And like, do you know what I mean? And like, and you'll be like, oh, I've got a contact in this field. Like, and like, I think we're all quite open with each other. And like the other day, you were asking on the WhatsApp about like, oh, should I do this or that? And I think we're all very open about it, which is really, really nice, because I think at the end of the day, like, our goal is to like get people into cold water dipping and community and connection. Like that's the end goal for all of us. So it's nice that we're all open, and I don't think you get that in many other communities, like running or whatever it might be. So
it's so special. The quote is, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yes, So, well, that's a good one.
Who is it by?
JFK.
Yeah.
So we, God bless his soul. So but that's what I mean. It's like, we're so willing to help each other because we're like, if it can get anyone else into any of your swimming clubs, that's great. Like, that is the shared goal. And, you know, we all swim in our own respective places. We all have our slight sort of nuances with our own clubs, but ultimately we all have the same shared goal, which is like trying to get people off their phone, socialising, doing something that we love, that we can try and sort of convert them to as well. And I think the whole wellness industry is quite warped in its sort of like competitive nature, and we are so lucky that we just want to help each other out and are really sort of like, let's collaborate, let's share photographers, let's share Canva logins, let's share advice, and you know, it's so awesome. And also really nice to know that you're not alone in this. Like, often it can feel pretty lonely. I don't get paid for it, I don't know if you do, but like, it's not a full-time job. And sometimes it feels like a full-time job, and it's quite nice to speak to other people where you're like, do you feel the same way? Where do you see it growing? Am I thinking too far ahead? And it's just a lovely sort of outlet.
As you say, there's no competitive element to going for like a cold water swim. I mean, if you want to take it in that direction, you can be like, I'm going to stay longer than you. Who gives a shit, right? Like, it doesn't matter.
Get out.
But that's, I think that goes back to what I was saying before about like, I'm just constantly surprised by the types of people who come. I just vibe with everyone. Like, I genuinely love running my swim clubs, because I'm just like, who am I going to meet? They're probably going to be sick, right? And that for me is the whole point of it. Like, the swimming is just so secondary.
People are coming because they share something in common, whether it be swimming or just wanting to find a community, and then obviously off the back of that, like, everything opens up and you find interest and you do this and you do that. And I think like the proof is literally in the pudding. But yeah, just touching on about it like feeling like a full-time job, I could speak for so long on this, and I'm sure you guys are similar, and I know that we've all kind of spoken at different times about it. But at the end of last year, like when Girly Dips really kind of took off, I think it was between like July and December, like that was our biggest kind of inflation in terms of like followers on social media, like brands reaching out and stuff like that. and like it isn't my job, and ultimately like my career does come first because that's my career and I want to kind of like, you know, like put my everything into that. And I was finishing work at 6:30 and like literally logging onto my laptop and making social posts and doing brand emails and like literally working until like 11, 12 at night. And then on the weekend, like in between plans, I was working on Girly Dips. And I got to Christmas and I was like, I feel
burnt out.
Like, I feel ill. Like I felt so anxious. I felt so stressed. And I confided in some of like the Girly Dips and just said, you know, like I can't continue to go at this rate because it's like, what is the purpose? And over Christmas, I kind of took a step back. And I said to myself, like, in the new year, like, your priority is you and your mental health. And ultimately, like, Girly Dips started for, you know, connection and community and feeling good. And the amount of time and energy I'm putting into it right now, like, is the opposite, effect on me. And so I kind of have taken, like, a bit of a break. And we spoke about this earlier. Like, I've actually realised that the community is loyal and, like, buzzing regardless of what we do on social media or brand outreach. Like they just want to come, dip and like meet people. And actually like it's really made me realise of like every time I start to like do too much or feel burnt out, just take a step back and be like, what's the purpose? And I can honestly say like in the last 4 weeks, like my mental headspace around Girly Dips and like finding the balance with work and life has been so much better. And it's been sad in a way because I'm my own bottleneck, and I'm sure you guys feel that. When I'm not putting as much into it, it maybe isn't like growing as much, but it's kind of like you have to just manage it around everything. But I don't know if you guys feel this, but like I start to feel guilty, and then I'm like, I need to do more, and then but then it's like, oh, like if I do more I feel shit, and it's really hard.
No, I completely agree. I think you were so good to just kind of take yourself back to the purpose of it though. Like if the purpose of it is just to grow something to promote cold water swimming and making you feel good, and if it's not making you feel good, because I feel exactly the same, like I'm probably 2 months behind you because right now I feel so overwhelmed and I've got all of these collaborations and brand outreaches and blah blah blah, and it should be really exciting, but instead I'm like, it feels a bit like a chore, and I don't ever want it to feel like a chore, but it's actually the pressure that I put on myself, and that's, you know, something that you've clearly been like, right, I need to set boundaries.
It's hard
though,
it's so hard.
Because, it's so hard, and also I think, as you say, it's growing and you're like, I want to drive this momentum, like we've got it, it's great. But also on top of that, you know, Girly Dippers or whatever is as good as me and how I'm doing that day.
Exactly.
So if I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered to be here, like no one's going to have fun. So yeah, I just also need to be way more sort of boundaried with it, and also just kind of be like, the purpose of me doing this was to make it accessible and just like really chilled. Like I don't need to be this really big extravagant run club and like partnering with Strava equivalent. Like, you know, I'm very happy just like right now it being a sort of community led and based ecosystem.
I found something that's really helped me on that front is really focusing on like what is my like core thing. So like my core thing is just the social swims that I do at the West Reservoir. It's a very predictable setup. Like I've been doing it now for like a year and like 4 months, and so I know what's going to happen every time. I know what the setup is. I really enjoy doing it, and because it's just really aligned with what I enjoy doing and now what I feel comfortable doing, what that used to feel like work, but now they don't. I just look forward to them, and so it gives me back rather than taking away. And I think that I found that really helpful. And actually we were also talking, and like because we were talking about social media in our chat the other day, like I think social media is like the one that
so hard.
Just it's so hard to have a balanced
it's
approach
also
to
so
that.
ironic because I always say, you know, I'll preface at every swim, you know, we're here to get you off your phones and off social media. I'm promoting it on social media, and I think there's a really good side of social media where you're able to find swim clubs, but then there's also boundaries within that you're sort of like, I don't need to be posting 2 posts a day, I don't need to get my algorithm correct, like otherwise you will literally just fall down a rabbit hole of competing.
It's competing and it's comparing, and it's like it's just not good for anyone's headspace to be doing that.
You can also so tell that I work in sales because I'm always like, thanks so much for coming to the swim, how did you hear about us? TikTok, Instagram, newsletter,
word of mouth.
Word of mouth, exactly. Did not say, interesting.
But
I think it's also I really struggle because like Girly Dips and Girly Dippers and Swim Peeps spreads by word of mouth, of course, because the swim communities are so tight knit and everyone chats. But ultimately, like, social media is a really good space to promote and get brands or like funding to notice you. Like that, it is good in some ways. But then the other side of it, yes, like it can take up your time and your headspace, but the thing that I struggle with is like, I'm saying to the girls, like, all come down to the Lido, like, you know, we'll come for a swim, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm there, like, trying to get content and trying to get videos, because I want to then put that on social media to, like, show how lovely the community is. But then I sometimes think, well, like, do the girls actually like me pointing a camera in their face? Because that's like, I mean, I love being in front of a camera. I'm like, hello, but some people don't. And so obviously at the beginning of every dip we'll say, if you don't want to be photographed or videoed, like, please let me know. Like, obviously we'll respect that boundary. But ultimately, like, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just a catch-22, because it's like, you want to take content, but you don't want to also upset people.
No.
I'm very comfortable using social media to promote something that I do believe is genuinely like good.
True.
And really the objective is just to get more people to be able to come, right? Like that's kind of the idea.
You kind of have to focus on the positive of
I
it.
also so know what you mean. It kind of feels like at the end of the Wizard of Oz when they take away the cloak and it's just like the man in the controller room. It feels like, come to this amazing swim, and then it's just me filming.
I know.
It's
well,
like
especially if you don't have a photographer, you're trying to host and like make sure everyone's safe in the water, and also you're like, hello everyone. It's like, there's
how was the swim? Cool, brilliant.
No, it is.
I hated it so much.
But also now I'm like, great content, that's going to get the views up.
Yeah.
Little bit clickbait there.
But also, what I will say on socials, and why personally, despite being Instagram native, I love TikTok, is I love TikTok because in terms of me creating content, it's so low effort. Like, I literally just point a camera at something stupid. And
that's what works. It's like the super polished, sort of like professionally filmed.
Like,
people just want relatable content.
And also just, you know, they want to feel like they've stumbled across something really authentic. Like, oh my god, that's actually how I found you. I found you on TikTok, and I was like, oh my god, these really cool young people are swimming really close to my house. This is epic. And I texted you being like, hey, I'm Liv. I run something similar. We should definitely collaborate. And I was like, oh my god, I found this. And you feel a sense of like ownership, whereas like if it's like super polished, you feel like it's been sent through the algorithm to you. Which obviously it has anyway.
But I think I think that's why I do love TikTok, is that people use it primarily to find things to do that they want to do. Like, it's not, I don't know, I think TikTok gets a bad rep as being like this sort of just like infinite doom scroll, but I genuinely don't think the platform's like that. I think it's like people use it, like the posts that I do that do the best are when I've like I did one recently about, it's like my favourite like Hampstead Heath like swim Saturday itinerary.
That was nice.
People love it because they're just like, let's say this shit, and they'll probably never ever look at it again, but like they've thought about something they might like to do, and I'm like, that for me can only be positive.
But I think there's like three types in my head anyway of social media. There's like the pushy, not pushy, but like the promotional stuff, right? So like, this is what we do, like come to a dip or whatever it might be, and that whatever, and that's like all the polished stuff, which you do have to do sometimes. And then the secondary is like just literally like film a really quick video, put it out without any thought. They're normally the videos that do the best because it's like less pressure, people super just find authentic. It funny. And then there's the things like what you did, which is actually more like not educational as such, but it's like insightful, right? So if there's somebody coming to London or North London that's not been before, people want to see things that they can like actually take away and use. And sometimes I will go to post on Girly Dips, and then I'll sit back and go, what is this doing for the community? Like, is it actually beneficial, or is it just for show? And if it's the latter, I'll sometimes not post it because I'm like, how is that like fun for anyone? Like, they people don't want to just see like random shit. No, it's a whole. I know. I did just get distracted by her.
Incredible.
I'd love to know.
Maybe it's like Qigong or something.
I feel like it's more Wim Hof stuff.
For the viewers out there that might see this, we're just watching a lady.
Go on.
What's she doing? Shall I do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Will this be on camera? What is she doing?
Yeah.
Faster.
It's good.
Faster.
I like it.
My shoulder, actually.
I like it.
I think it is with Hof vibes.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Why do you guys think that this is much more more women tend to do this kind of swimming than men? Because it's something like because I'm sort of what I'm doing is more kind of like brand building at this point. Like, I'm trying to build a brand, right? And so I'm starting to think about things about like target demos and like that kind of thing. And I sat down and looked at it, and I looked at stuff like, okay, my social media following, people in my WhatsApp group, the people who I interact with, and it's like 85% women.
Interesting.
And it's something that lots of people comment, and they're like, why is that? Why do you guys think that is?
I think it's because this is a very sweeping generalisation here, so apologies. I think women are better at making plans and being like, so and so, you should come join me and bring 2 friends. Like guys on the day might be like, oh yeah, I saw that. Sorry, that's so mean. But they might be like, that sounds really cool.
At least you didn't do it in an Australian accent.
Not yet. Guys maybe just aren't as good at sort of being like, oh, I'm going to put that in my diary. But I think stereotypically a girl will be like, that looks awesome, put it in the diary, going to forward to the girl group chat, bring 4 or 5 of them along. Whereas a guy might be roped in. Maybe like women are more aware of like the sort of like community element. They're way more in touch with that.
Yeah.
And I feel like probably crave it, and it's sort of much more at the front of their mind. To be like, I'm looking actively for community.
I think that's
Yeah. I also think, again, not to kind of like generalise, it is similar to what you just said, but I think that majority of women are more open to meeting new people, whereas guys potentially might just like not be aware. They might think, oh, I feel a bit lonely, or you know, I like wish I could make some new friends, but they don't actively like action it. And I think that might just be because of like society in general kind of like making men specifically feel like you should be fine, like, you know, you're a guy, get on with it kind of thing. So I don't know, I think for me that's a harder one to answer, because obviously Girly Dips is specifically aimed at all women.
Yeah.
And so like our audience is women. I think to kind of add an extra layer, we have women from like ages 22 up to 70. And I think that's interesting because it's clearly something that appeals to like all women of all ages.
Yeah.
It's not just, you know, a younger generation or an older generation.
I also think maybe men prefer socialising in a safer environment with all men. Like, I do want to shout out the Icebreakers. They are a male-only swim club, and they are sort of franchised around Brighton, Bristol, London, and it's like a beautiful community all about raising awareness about male mental health. And they go for a swim and a run every Wednesday in Hampstead Heath. They talk about, I think they have a sort of like check-in, and they all go around the room and sort of talk about their feelings, and like maybe there's something like to your club, you know, being the same gender and being able to share that in a safer space. And maybe what we do is just a bit more sort of like relaxing, something you would do I don't know, for a more chilled.
I wonder as well, and I hate to be like a stereotype to stereotype here, but this is just something I've noticed. But like my partner Kevin, right? If he was going to go for a swim, he'd want to go for a swim. Like he would be like, I'm going to go for a proper swim, you know, like get my lengths in, that kind of thing. And I wonder if it kind of comes back to like, and I'm sorry guys, but like around like an ego thing, like. Is it because men maybe don't want to just like go in for a dip? They actually want to go and like try and like do the most lengths, or like stay in the longest. I don't know, like that's the only other thing I could think.
Blokes tend to be more activity focused rather than, I think women in general are more sort of community and like social focused.
Wellness as well.
And I think it's because what ultimately we do is a social thing, not an activity thing. Because I think if you go to a run club, obviously there's a social aspect, but I see that as it's an activity in which socialising involved. Whereas for me, I mean, I say this to people all the time, like, you don't need to swim. Like, if I just like literally just come along to chat, because I would happily like drop the swimming thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, just do the same thing. So I think that's it. 85% of my social media followers are women. So that's like not an accident.
So one thing I've noticed, because I've tried to do like a few different things now, like the Girly Sips with the wine tasting. That was amazing. Like, that was a sellout event. Like, we had a huge wait list. Like, the girls really wanted to get involved with that. But what I did notice is that there wasn't as much of a pull for it as there was with the swimming. And so I think it's an interesting one, because I thought that it would be on the same level, but it's made me realise that the swimming part of it is quite important to at least my like community audience.
Yeah.
And it's similar to like when we did the collaboration, and I know you've done like a run club collaboration as well. And I think I asked you about this at the time. Like, we partnered with Leela, who are a fantastic community of women who do like running, swimming and cycling. And again, it was a sellout event, and it was amazing, and like, you know, everyone turned up, but there wasn't as much of a buzz for it because it included a running element. It's almost as if people just do want the swimming part.
I do also think people compartmentalise their week. They'll be like, I'm going for a run with this friend, I'm going for a coffee with this friend, I'm going for a swim with this friend, or alone. And like being what we are and owning that, or a swim club, and you come to chit chat and swim, that's it. I think that's enough. Like, yeah, I have quite a few people who are like, you're doing a run, I'm not going to be like, I didn't even run.
I didn't.
And
I was like,
that
I'll
was
set
great,
up.
but it's like, you know, I don't think we need to be this sort of like,
every multifaceted thing.
This sort of jack of all traits. Like, we are what we are, and like, let's own it, and it's great. And I think, you know, the more that we can kind of own that space together is great.
That was going to lead me on to ask you guys about your event that you're doing. So it's here,
week
right?
today. What time
today?
It's
we'll
here.
just be wrapping up a week today.
It's here at Brockwell
It's
Live.
here at Brockwell,
right? Yeah.
11 till 12, 7th of February. Tickets they're all sold out.
They are sold out. Do you know
How
what?
quickly did it sell out?
It's
4 hours.
In 4 hours.
It was actually mental.
That's banging.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I actually wanted to talk about this because I'm not very good at kind of relaying this on social media, because that's the only way to kind of market the dips. But like, somebody said to me at the back end of last year, like, that they didn't feel that the ticketing element for Girly Dips was very inclusive. And the reason we ticket our events is because of safety. So I know it's different for the way you guys typically do it, because obviously you'll say, we're dipping at this time on this date, like,
pay for your entry.
Yeah, pay for your entry. But when we were doing it that way earlier last year, especially at Brockwell, like, so many people were turning up, and I appreciate the onus isn't then on me if something does happen, but just as a human, I was like, if somebody hurts themselves, or God forbid, like, something serious happens, I don't want to feel like responsible for that, because that would be an awful feeling. So started kind of like from a community element as well, like hiring the lane space, because then it was like we were all together, we weren't all spread across different lanes and kind of annoying the other public. And so with hiring a lane comes capacity, and with capacity I have to ticket it, because then I can keep a hold of the numbers. If I was just like, oh, it's 30 free tickets, everyone would end up still coming, which is amazing, because I want it to be, you know, open.
But also, I think if it's free, people buy tickets for free, and then they don't turn up because there's no onus on them to turn up.
And that's the other thing, is like, so much work, as we all know, in terms of like brand partnerships, community collaborations. It does take a lot of effort and time, and I just ended up being in a position where that was happening, where I was like, it's £2 a ticket, and then like nobody would turn up on the day in the early days, and it's like, oh, like, all that effort's gone into it for nothing.
But then I also think, you know, you pay £25 to go to a Pilates class.
True.
And this is you get way more. You're going to get a yoga instructor, you're going to get a body positivity coach, you're going to get some free drinks, you're going to get a swim. So I do
some chocolate.
Yeah, some chocolate.
You got some chocolate?
Yeah.
Should we drop? We've actually, it's pretty sick.
I feel like loads of guys be like, what counts as a girl?
Yeah.
I'm like, no
boy allowed.
No.
Yeah, we've got Tony's Chocolate Only on board.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah,
Nice.
so and we've got a really nice drinks partner, so we've got
Sick.
skip drinks. So yeah, it's going to be a really, really nice event, and I mean, we've been speaking about it for like over 6 months.
Yes.
I really want to do like some kind of sauna festival thing.
Yeah. Have you been to Sauna Fest?
Well, the
Or is
one
it
at
Saunaverse?
Saunaverse at the Hackney Wick.
Yeah.
I haven't been actually.
No, I've not been either, but apparently it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, because I was going to get in their ears about doing it, and then I realised I was like, they actually already do a sauna thing.
You could still try though.
Yeah.
I mean, Sauna Social Club in Peckham, they do like a Friday night DJ set, and it's like, not gonna lie, I felt like I dropped a pill. Like, I was sat in the sauna, like with it, like really hot, like this, like really like funky music playing, and I was like,
This is a
This is
I was
good
like, am I coming up? Like,
if you're going to open a sauna, make it vibey. Like, don't make it lame and sort of like
clinical.
Yeah.
Like, I want to feel like weird and like.
Yeah.
I want to feel like I've dropped a pill.
Yeah, literally. That's actually the whole point.
yeah.
Right? Like, that is actually the whole point.
But that's
want
similar
to do
to
something
your
like that.
vibe, with obviously like Grooves for Good, and then the like, what's it the next day? Recovery swim.
Well, okay, so me and Rosie have done this a couple of times now, and it's really funny because in my mind, like, I'll go on a massive night out and then cold water swim at 10:30 the next day. Like, it doesn't register for me as something that, you know,
people
it's
would
not
just
that
not
deep.
do.
And we've done it twice now, and we've realised, like, it's hard to get people to do that. Like,
It's hard to
not
get people,
actually
I think, to commit the next day. It's all kind of like, I'll be there.
But the one,
and then they're not.
What we're doing for the next one, the plan is we're going to actually do like a recovery sauna.
Yeah.
And we're gonna
People will love
book
that.
out, and we're gonna sell we're going to do 2 tiers of tickets, which is one just for the night out, and then one which is the night out plus the sauna.
Yeah,
so
that makes
people are like
sense.
locked in.
Yeah.
But also, I just think going to a sauna is far less offensive.
You could also do it a bit
to, like,
later.
Sweat out
Yeah.
with the
Like at
alcohol.
12.
Do it at 2 p.m.
At 2, yeah.
Should we? Let's wrap this up.
Okay, let's
Okay.
So you guys have got your event coming up. So what's the date for
The
your
date
event?
is the 7th of February
Yeah.
here at Brockwell Lido, 11 till 12 p.m.
Yeah.
We're going to have a yoga instructor, a body positivity coach. We're going to have drinks, chocolate. It's going to be a lovely time.
Yeah.
Girls
Yeah.
only. Our first ever collaboration.
Very
Hopefully,
exciting.
we're going to do loads more. And
Yeah.
I would say see you there.
Yeah.
We're not
I'll be
gonna
there.
see you
I'll
there.
be supporting from the sidelines.
But yeah.
But well, thanks so much, guys. I'm
Thanks
so
for having
glad that we
us.
got to do this, and I'm
Yeah.
sure this will be the first of many
Yeah.
little meetups and.
It's
and
nice to
stuff like that.
soundboard as well.
Oh,
with
yeah,
each other.
yeah.
It's
It's
really
so good.
nice.
It's like a free therapy session.
Yeah.
It's
Love it.
lovely.
A
Yeah.
filmed therapy session.
Yeah. All right, guys, and thanks to Brockwell Lido, and
Yeah.
I'll see you on the next one.
See you later.